Good morning and welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus, to another analysis and breakdown of this rather battered looking Quran of the Muslims. Yes, we'll be going through this verse by verse once again, breaking it down into factual logical statements in English so that we can understand who or what is Allah, what does he mean by the contents of his book, and more importantly for us, how does this affect us as non-believers in our lives today. So as I always do before I start, I'm going to tell you now, buy, translate and read one of these, an Arabic Quran, not an English one because they're different, an Arabic Quran, translate it and read it yourself if you have any questions or doubts as to the things I'm about to say, and after having done so you'll recognise everything I am going to tell you now or have previously said is 100% true of the words of Allah and what Muslims believe today. So, if you've been watching the series and you saw the last couple, we're getting to the end of Al-Imran, which is the third surah. Allah has told us about how he's actually going to damn everyone to his evil fire, which is at the bottom of the earth along with his paradise garden. He expressly describes it as this. So Muslims are now feeling rather unhappy about this because they thought they were going to go to a paradise garden in heaven, and now they're finding out that it isn't in heaven, it's in hell. So they are denying this to themselves, and that is why we're going to continue going through the last embers of Al-Imran so we can nail the truth to them and make them aware that they're following a falsity and that Allah is not God. So, with that in mind, let's carry on. 198. Those who feared and obeyed their Lord are the gardens below which the rivers flow. They shall abide within it forever, as the guests of Allah, for Allah doth land all righteousness. So, I feel like this is not that important to the narrative of the book. I feel like the whole narrative of the book Al-Imran, first of all, is punishing non-belief. That's what happens at the beginning. But most notably Christians. We're admonishing Christians and also punishing Christians for the fact that they don't follow Allah, that they have their own version of Jesus Christ, which of course isn't the real one. Jesus Christ, son of Allah, that came later, that's the real one, according to Allah. There are some excuses given for his false prophecies and also attacking the prophets of the past, including the legitimate Christ. So that's why now we've gone through all that good stuff and we're kind of sidling away now, I feel, in these final three verses. So when he says those who feared and obeyed their Lord are the gardens, he's telling you the gardens the paradise gardens who you're going to get to live in, O Muslims, that's deep below the earth, that's going to be made of you guys. You're going to be there along with all the dead non-believers, below which the rivers flow. So he's telling you again, this is the fourth time he's told you, it isn't up there. Rivers flow down. Garden is down below the earth. You're travelling through the earth to get there, and you'll be the companion of Allah, who describes himself as living in the darkest depths. So he's not even trying to hide it now, O Muslims. Your paradise garden is a cave underneath the ground filled with fire, with which you are to live forever and be tortured by Allah, who'll be laughing at you, by the way, because he thinks you're really stupid. And we'll carry on. 199. Surely some of the Christians, the people of the book, are actually believers in Allah, in what he hath recorded here and what he did send down in his Quran, and will humble to only Allah. End of verse. So I can tell you this is nonsense. There is not a Christian alive who believes in Allah. He's just completely made that up. But I know why he's making it up, because earlier on in the book, Muhammad made the observation that the followers of Christ will be held in superior regard in the end times. Higher than Muslims, higher than Jews, higher than anyone else, Christians. That's Muhammad that said that. So now at the end of Al-Imran, he's realised, hang on, we can use the reputation of these Christians if we convert some of them into Allah worship. But it just never happens. I can tell you, I have met millions of Christians, not a single one of them believes in Allah. In fact, we all think Allah is nonsense, and his Quran of the Muslims is also nonsense. Then he goes on to say, they will not trade his Quran for a small price, and having faced Allah's swift reckoning will have wages from the Lord also on the day of resurrection. Now, I have several problems with this. The first is we don't believe that there's going to be a day of resurrection. That's something that Allah has made up. Also, you cannot call Allah's reckoning swift if he wrote this 1500 years ago and it's still not even near to being completed. Like, it's not even off the ground yet. And finally, they will not trade his Quran for a small price. Most Christians don't own a Quran, so they won't be trading it for anything. They're not going to buy one in the first place. The only reason I bought one is to prove to you, O Muslims, that what you're following is a falsity, so that I can help you not send yourself to hell or the paradise gardens which Allah describes. But so far, I don't think many of you are listening. Those who have obviously already knew. But I'm hoping that in future you can come to the truth via your own free will and realise Allah's talking nonsense and is tricking you into his paradise gardens deep below the earth. And then we reach the final verse of today's episode, 200. O ye believers, be patient for his excellence, and excel in his patience. Be firm in obedience, and follow all he doth command, and perhaps then shall you be prosperous. End of verse. So we know at this point, his Muslims are not prosperous at all. So that's why he says, perhaps then you shall be prosperous. He doesn't say you will be prosperous. He says maybe you will, if you're lucky, which you won't be because he's the god of luck, as he told us in the last few episodes. So the reason he's saying this, O ye believers, he's talking to his Muslims, be patient for his excellence. Don't expect you're going to get it now or even in death. You've got to wait till the end times genocidal prophecy has been completed. All the Christians, Jews, apostates, atheists and pagans have to be dead, and all you guys also have to be dead. Only then will you get your reward flowing down to his paradise gardens deep below the earth, which we Christians think is Satan's hell. That's your reward. But excel in your patience. Do you see what he's doing there? Be patient for his excellence, but excel in your patience. So both commands say the same thing. They're both saying he's not going to do anything immediately for you, despite a minute ago saying Allah's swift reckoning. Now he's saying be patient. Be patient in his excellence, and he will excel you in your patience to make you wait even longer. And at the end, perhaps, maybe you'll be prosperous, and we know that you will not. End of verse, end of reading. So I feel like that was one of the most difficult things I've ever read, Al-Imran, not because it was hard to understand, it really wasn't. I feel like the drudgery of the language and the just complete bore-fest of that book really wore me down at the corner, so I'm happy to get to the end of it. But I think, in conclusion and summary of that whole book, begging Christians to worship Allah and punishing them where they don't, punishing all forms of non-belief and saying that Christianity is non-belief specifically, following a Christ is non-belief, worshipping so that you can have salvation through Christ is non-belief, believing the Christian missionaries and taking Bibles and free food off them for you, O Muslims, is apostasy, that's non-belief. All these things are going to send you to hell, whereas the righteous Muslims will be laughing at you, but they're also going to hell, as we found out in yesterday's episode. So after attacking the prophets of old, Christ, Christianity, the apostles, the gospels and the missionaries, and the apostate Muslims, we find out that there is no difference between them all in the end times genocidal prophecy. They're all going the same direction, they're all going to die and be tortured, and that is Allah's plan from the first page. So, that's the end of this video. Just a short one today. We finished Al-Imran now, as I say, and it was a short summary. It wasn't a very good book, so hopefully, when we go on to the next one, after a few days' rest, we're going to find something a bit more meaty to get our teeth into and shred apart the truth of the Quran, which the Muslims either wish to hide and just plainly lie about, or genuinely have not read. Because I'm seeing lots of them in my comments saying to me, oh, that's not in there, that's a lie, you're an evil Jew, you're making it up. I'm absolutely not making it up. This is 100% accurately translated from this, an Arabic Quran with an official Brotherhood stamp upon it. So maybe it's you guys that need to read your own book and not have me do it for you. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learnt something. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. So that's it for Al-Imran and family. Next we're going to have one more episode. We're going to go through Al-Fatiha, which is the first page. That will be quick. And then we'll have a few days off before returning to the Quran of the Muslims for the next book in the order. So that's all for now. God bless, and I'll see you next time.